Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and guests, nowadays everybody's talking about living a healthy lifestyle, getting some exercise, hitting the gym. But does anyone ever hit the library? Isn't this also important that we exercise our minds as well as our bodies? And if we're going to watch the type of foods we eat, shouldn't we also watch the types of thoughts and ideas that go into our heads? My parents used to say to me, garbage in, garbage out. And what this means is that you got to watch the types of thoughts and ideas that you entertain, because they will manifest themselves in your behavior. So it is just as important to exercise your mind and have a healthy mind as it is your body. One way I like to do this is with a card trick. I memorize a deck of cards. It takes 25 minutes before I can finish it. The world record is 21 seconds. But I do it, I memorize the whole deck, and I go to somebody and I spread them out and I say, here, pick any card you want. I'm not looking. Don't show me, just take a look at it, put it back in the deck. Once I put it back in the deck, I take the deck, I turn it over, I shuffle through them, I find the one that's out of order, and I show them their card, and they're amazed. They say, how is this done? How did you do that? Of course they want to know. And I tell them, very simple, I just memorized the entire deck. They say to me, I could never do that. I don't have that type of memory. Many of you out here may be thinking that yourselves. You may be thinking that you could not memorize a deck of cards because you don't have a good memory. But I could show you how to do it, and you could do it, and you would do it. And the first thing someone would say to you is, I can't believe you did that. I could never do that. I don't have that good of a memory. And you would realize that the real trick is in the ones that people will play on themselves, the thoughts and ideas that they allow themselves to believe. Because a belief is so powerful that it does become our reality. Ask any doctor how the placebo effect works, and he'll tell you the one thing, the one common factor is that the person has to believe that it will work. In many cases, it does. Ask a hypnotist how hypnosis works, and he'll say to you, if the person believes that he's hypnotized, he is. And if you believe that you have a bad memory, that you couldn't memorize a deck of cards, you can't, and you don't. But the good thing about being wrong is that we can change. Once we know we're wrong, we can move past that. We can admit it. If we couldn't, the earth would still be flat. The sun would still revolve around us. And men would still be wearing sweater vests. But it all starts with thinking positively. It can change the way you think, and it can change your actions, change your behavior. Every week here at Toastmasters, somebody comes up and gives a positive mental attitude. And if that thought or that quote, if it speaks to you, it can be hypnotic. It can be a placebo effect. Nothing changes in you except for the way you think. Things can suddenly become possible. A good example of the power of positive thinking was Muhammad Ali. He said, I knew I was great before it was true. Now this man was a positive thinker, and he believed it. Most people don't go through life like Muhammad Ali. Most of us have different mantras. There's Dave. He's not a morning person. There's Susan. She's not very mechanical. And there was Jim. He couldn't speak in public. 4.5 years ago, I joined Toastmasters, and I decided I was going to start thinking differently. I was going to start thinking positive. I was going to change my behaviors. Like Thoreau says, if you move confidently in the directions of your dreams, you can live the life you've imagined. Part of that life was speaking in public. It was something I wanted to accomplish. If there's something that you want, you can do it. If there's something that you want to have, you can have it. But it first starts with believing. History proves that I'm right. Elvis Presley didn't go to his own prom with a date because he was too shy. Zane Grey was turned down 600 times before he was finally published. Michael Jordan was cut from his own basketball team in high school. History proves that I'm right. If you want something, you can have it. You don't need a 5-step program because it's just one step. If there's an obstacle in your way, you got to find out whether the obstacle is out there or in here. One step to removing the obstacles, to achieving the goals, to start thinking differently, is to believe. Mr. President.